Hello and welcome to all you Aries people. Hello, how are you doing? Happy New Year for all of you who've got a sun in Aries, all of you who have an ascendant in Aries, and even those of you like me that have a moon in Aries. This can be, watch your moon sign, especially when you are a woman. It can be applicable. A lot of things can really, on an emotional level, even in these are general horoscopes, of course, but even the energies can be really applicable for you. So what is going on here? Let's start with the good news. Let's start with the best news for the whole month, actually. And it's in your relationship sector. So whether you are single or not, there's absolutely some deep, strong, solid connections growing in your life, and certainly now in January, because you've got Jupiter in your opposite sign of relationships, which is Jupiter over there is growth in relationships, is meaningfulness, a lot of people that enter your life that have a big impact on you because they show you some pieces of you that you get to know. And this is beautifully sextiling Saturn in the 9th house, in Sagittarius. So these people could be from abroad. These people could have a different, especially abroad, because with Jupiter there, or another culture, a different background, a different upbringing. Whatever it is, you feel, you're going to feel some sort of stability there. Stability in your connections, and also stability in your opinions, because Saturn is in your 9th house. Normally Saturn in the 9th can make someone very opinionated and a bit rigid in their thinking, but now that's not the case because Saturn is sextiling Jupiter. So you've got like actually the one who thinks very broad, which is Jupiter, and also the ones who thinks very deep and very intense and focused. So you've got that in the communication house of relationships, but also on the way that you think. That's why the connections that you're going to make throughout January are going to have that long-lasting factor, and that's always nice. So you're getting support there. You're getting support. It could also mean that when you are studying something, that you really feel supported by other people. And that's nice, isn't it? What else? Well, there is a lot of activity in... No, let's talk about the retrograde, yeah. The retrograde in your 10th house, that is a bit the same as last month, but with the difference that now Mercury goes straight forwards, direct on the 8th, and you will feel that there is a clearing up when it comes to your thinking processes, well, what you thought about your destiny, what you thought about your social... how you want to be seen by people, but also your destiny. That's the 10th house, your work. So some of you might have changed jobs, and it's also quite often that people in January, they quit their jobs after they spend some time, you know, and especially after a Mercury retrograde, especially when it's in your 10th house of work, they think about, I don't want to go back towards that. So excuse me, you could be someone who really has changed jobs and said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Remember the Plutonian energy that went on there with the Mercury. So, and definitely is carry on this energy, because at the very end of the month, Mercury joins with Pluto. So there's absolutely breakthroughs when you were expecting some news from work, that you didn't know was good or bad. You're gonna know it, and you're going to be ready now to embrace the truth, whether it is for good or for bad. So there is a message there. There's a lot of communication there when it comes to work, and certainly there is room for newness and truthfulness and authenticity for work. But again, when you do change jobs or doing something different, adding something, there's always a new responsibility. So a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm going to quit that very dull job. But then, of course, you need to explore the new job. And you Aries people normally don't have any problem with that, because you are ruled by Mars, so you will go forwards. But I do expect still in January, less in February, but still in January, to have some time to close up, because of the Mercury conjuncting at the very end of the month with Pluto, and also because Mars and Venus are in your 12th house, which is still also a house of closing. So, but hey, next month, Mars in your sign, wow, that's going to be fantastic. And then Venus, and how exciting it's going to be for Aries people. It really is, with Venus retrograde in your sign and etc. I can't wait to talk about that. But now it's like a closing up, a finishing up, and maybe behind the scenes even. Maybe you are planning to start a new job or to start a new project in February and not telling anyone, but you are preparing yourself. Could be the case with Venus and Mars in the 12th. Now, Venus and Mars together in Pisces in the 12th is actually quite a lot of energy there. And the 12th house, although it is hidden, it can be a house of introspection. So people think a lot that a lot of energy in the 12th can be, you know, having no energy. But don't forget, Venus is there as well. So whatever it is that you're doing behind the scenes, you kind of like it as well, because Venus is in there. So, and that Mars is going to, and also the Venus ultimately, but first Mars is going to connect with Neptune and with Saturn. So let's talk about this a little bit, because it's also important for some days. Be aware and be very eyes open around the 1st and the 2nd of the month, because then Mars conjuncts with Neptune in your 12th house. There could be a strange dream going on, for instance, a very strange dream, and you're or you can't sleep, you know, restless nights could be the case in January, but especially the 1st and the 2nd one, because it is with Neptune. At its best, it's true inspiration, it's mystical experiences, it's connection with the divine, it's feeling very one with everything and everyone. So that is at its best. But of course, there's a percentage that, you know, Mars with Neptune, it's not an easy aspect. So be aware of that the first couple of days, that there will be a bit misty. But again, that mist will fade away very, very quickly. And then that Mars around the middle of the month, between the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, it's going to square up to Saturn. To that Saturn in your 9th house. And conjunct with Chiron in your 12th. So 9th and 12th house, they're at its best. This aspect is all about focusing. This aspect is all about getting the job done, even though you are scared of doing it, even though you think it's a big mountain to climb. The advice is to do it anyway, with little steps, with baby steps. It's only a couple of days. If you get frustrated and if you're going to try to push even harder, well, Aries people often do, it's going to make it even worse. So count to 10 and count your blessings, and know that this slowing down has its purpose, has its divine timing. Trust in that, because your trust, which is Saturn there in the 9th house, sextiling with that Jupiter in the 7th, that trust in the universe will help you out. It will help you to get the job done. So there could be traveling that you will have to do around that time. That's not going to be that easy, or a bit challenging. Or there could be studies that you're doing that is not that you really want to give up, for instance. But my suggestion would be no, just a couple of days. Be like the pit bull, you know, put your teeth into it and keep on doing it, and you will be very grateful around the 20th that you have continued and persevered. Because that's what Saturn and Mars is all about, perseverance. Oh, I thought the camera was going to fall. You see, Moon in Aries, quick. My heart is like... You see, Moon in Aries is all about quick and quick reactions. And sometimes that's negative, you know, being impulsive. And sometimes, like you see here, it's quite positive, being having a moon in Aries here. Having said that, was that everything? Yes, it was. Was that everything? Yeah, I talked about the Jupiter, talked about Mercury retrograde, and that Mars and Venus. Okay, don't mind too much. Oh, a very romantic day is around the 12th. So, and it's very, very secretly romantic because it's in the 12th house. But don't worry, feet will be on the ground at the very end of the month because then Venus squares up to Saturn. So you won't be dreaming that much. And I think Aries is not about dreaming. Aries is about doing. Having said that, Aries people, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. And see you next month. Bye-bye.